Alright, my friends, today I have some interesting things to show off, and this is going to be a very different video, but it will be a fun one. I have roughly a dozen knives with me. We'll count them out, so maybe I have more, maybe I have less, but I have some cool knives with me today, and I want to show them off, because these are some very unique pieces, at least just very interesting to me, and as knife enthusiasts, I'm sure you will find them interesting as well. Now, I have to say that I would have been filming this video in the shop, but I had something very interesting happen last night, at least at the recording of this video last night, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Not even kidding. I've had some very tough heart things going on over the past few weeks, if not months, and yesterday I honestly thought that was it. But thank goodness, thank God for another day. I'm very thankful for that, and another reason to be thankful. I have another reason to be thankful, so thank God for that. But in the meantime, doctor's orders, they're always to rest. But anyways, doctor's orders said do not do anything crazy, physical, anything like crazy, until you get your cardiology appointment, which obviously does not happen within like 6 hours. So in the meantime, I'm here doing stuff from the shedknives office, the shedknives space, the not shop office. But yeah, so there's a little situation there. Not happy with it, but guess what? I have knives to show off. I also am sticking to my word because I said I will post a video every single day of 2024 unless some external force pulls me away, like a machine pulls me in or something, and I vanish. But until that point, I will stick to my word. I will get videos out. So it's been a rough day, but rough days, boo-hoo. We have bigger and better things to do, my friends. So let's get into the video. Knives. Let's go over some folders first. This is what I had on my desk already before I brought anything over. We have CRKT. I have two of these today. CRKT M16-14SF. This is a pretty cool piece. I have a story for you on this one. This I carried when I was a sailing instructor at Rodney Scout Reservation in Maryland, which is on the Chesapeake Bay. And as tough as that job was, as many rough days I had at that place, guess what? This knife was the only knife I carried that entire time. Now, maybe I had another knife I carried just like outside of working or whatever. Maybe I did that because I did live at the job for, I think it was 7 or 8 weeks. I don't know. Every week felt like a lifetime. But anyways, this knife I carried on my life jacket. I carried it right here, stuck it in between some of the straps, and man, this thing, I loved it. Didn't have to use it to cut anyone out or anything out of lines, rope, all that stuff that the sailboats have. If I needed to, I had the blade to do it. So this one's pretty cool. I have another CRKT. This is the M40-15. Pretty cool blade. This is a fairly new one, and this has 3 mean serrations. Very cool. Spear point. There's also the option to show there's the option to sharpen the top of this. And it's got a pretty cool button lock right here. So this is pretty cool. Neat. And by the way, you might be wondering, why am I showing off all these knives when I have a knife company? And the reason is because I've had quite a few of you ask, Jack, can you please show more knives? Can you at least show your knives? Can you just show some knives? So I thought, you know what, since I'm here, since I have my tool collection, since I have my knife collection at the office today, I figured, let me do that. So I have those two. I have my Spartan, this one, pretty cool. Another quick story on this one. When I was going to buy this knife, my dad thought it was too big for me at the time, really because my hands were so small compared to the knife. But who we talked to at the store, which was Mr. Willie Knives. Unfortunately, he's passed away now. But when we talked to him, he said, like, grab the knife, check it out. So I did that. He's like, you will grow into this knife. This, yes, it's a big knife right now, but once you wait a few years, or who knows, maybe a few months, this will be one of the best knives you have. And I agree, this is one of the best folders I have. So he was definitely right on that one, and pretty cool. So thank you very much, Willie Knives in Greenwood, Delaware. Pretty cool. Also, Lynn Thompson, awesome dude. Next, I have a ZT, Zero Tolerance, carbon fiber and titanium scales. This is the 582 CF. Pretty cool. CPM 20 CV, I believe. What is that? Yep, 20 CV. Pretty cool. I like this one. Again, fairly new. Very neat. Then I have a 2022 shedknives sheep's foot. So now we're getting into the shedknives blades. This one is really supposed to have a 550 cord handle on it, but I had a few left over that I did not need to do that. So anyways, pretty cool. This one, it's funny when I look at these, the 2022s and before and older, I think, man, this took so much effort, so much work, so much time, and I'm holding all of it in my hands. So pretty cool. Like this one. Now let's move into some fixed blades. I'm going to save the shedknives blades for the end, and I'll tell you why, but I'm going to save these for the end. This one, now I don't know if this is a K-bar, but what I do know is that there's no insignia, there's no markings, there's nothing on this. But cool story on how I picked this one up. So check that out. This is a nice, like, pow, pow. This is a nice fighting knife, if I wanted to use it like that. Nice field knife. Nice. I like this. So pretty cool. I'm going to call it a K-bar because I don't know what else it could be. So yeah, my K-bar. This one, interesting how I picked this one up. And I'll talk about the sheath here in a second. But I used to work at a knife store, Willie Knives, that I just pointed out with the Cold Steel Spartan. I used to work there, and they had a drawer pretty much of knives that had not been picked up from sharpening, and I decided to take it into my hands to call these people and say, hey, I just want to let you know your knives have been sitting here for 5 years. Do you want to come pick them up? Because some of these people, I think the oldest batch of knives people had left was from 2016, I believe, which it is 2024, which at the time was 2023, but still from 2023 to 2016, that is a very long time to leave knives for sharpening. So anyways, I called all these people, quite a few of them picked up their knives, where the person who left this one said, you know what? If I have had my knife sitting there since 2018 and I haven't noticed, you can have it. And he knew exactly what it was. So I said, okay, sure. If you're fine with that, fine. So that is how I got this one. Very interesting, but I mean, I can understand why. So this is pretty cool. And on the sheath, I did some stamping. I took some of my stamps. So I stamped on here my initials onto the knife, WJB. I stamped WJB onto the button. Did it on the sheath. Well, I did W for winning on the button. And then I did WJB again. So some different stamping, pretty cool. Nice leather. This is genuine leather. I like this. But man, I like this knife. It's pretty fun. So I'll set this one to the side. This is the first of the other fixed blades, or really one of the first of the fixed blades. And this one, let's see here. This is a CRKT Minimalist, which they have a bunch of different minimalists, but this is, it doesn't say which one it is exactly. But this, kind of special, okay? This one I got from Sam, who helped start Shedknives, and also more than just that, he has been a lifelong friend of mine. So I was Sam's best man at his wedding, and this is pretty cool because he gave me this one as a gift for that, and I thought that was very nice. So this one is awesome. I use this for small projects around the house because this gets it done, and also I have the lanyard if I want to put it around my neck. So Sam, if you're watching, thank you very much. Cool blade, CRKT, cool blade. And funny thing about CRKT, I've already shown off, this is the third one I've shown off. I like CRKT. I've liked them for a very long time now. And what's funny is Sam joins me at Blade Show, and that's not funny, that's actually really cool. But the funny part about this is that he became like best friends with the CRKT CEO over like a 15-minute conversation, if it took that long. And he said, I want you to meet the real owner of shedknives. I want you to meet the dude who actually like does stuff more than just 3 days a year, because Sam contributes to shedknives from like Wednesday to I think Monday, like that span of time every year for Blade Show. So he's like the dude who does shedknife stuff the rest of the days of the year. You should meet him. And at breakfast, they have a knife breakfast, like a knife awards breakfast. Sam invited the guy to sit down with us, and I had no clue who he was until Sam said, oh, hey Jack, this is the CEO of CRKT Knives. I was like, oh my gosh, no way. So, pretty cool. This one is very nice. I like this. And it looks like it has G10 scales as well. That's important. And this one, my first G10 knife. I have two knives from this company. This is by Mission Knives. This is a MB2-CT. That's the name of it. So kind of similar to ZT. They have different like numbers, names, that sort of things. Or numbers and letters. This is all letters though. MBT-CT. So anyways, this is a G10 knife. That's right, completely made out of G10. So pretty cool. And this knife is extremely light. So just imagine the G10 you make with this one, and then just make a knife out of it. So the entire thing is G10, comes with a very light sheath as well, and there's nothing metallic about these knives. So that means metal detectors won't pick them up. Now, do I use them in that manner? No. Do some people use them in that manner? Maybe. But I don't have control over their actions. So anyways, I like this one. Nice lightweight knife. This is like a backpacking knife. More for self-defense though. But pretty neat. And it also does have a grind. So, nice. Like this one a lot. And I think Sam got one of these too. So, I like these. I don't know what knives they're making though now. But I'll show you this one that I got. Again, Mission Knives. This is called the MBK. This is a titanium knife. So my first G10 knife and my first titanium knife both came from Mission. Pretty cool. Now what's funny, I looked into titanium knives and they have very low Rockwells. So steel, here's the difference between steel and titanium. Titanium is very light, where steel is very heavy. Titanium costs a ton of money. Steel doesn't really cost a ton of money compared to titanium. But then the hardness, you have different types of titanium. I think they make 4 types, and they're very easy to remember. It's like type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, blah blah blah. All the different types of titanium. So very interesting. They have low Rockwell. I don't believe you can harden titanium. You might be able to, so don't quote me on that. But pretty interesting. But they're very sharp. They're strong. Titanium is very strong. But for some reason, it's a softer metal. And I'm not sure why that is. So anyways, very cool. I have not had any problems with this knife. Like in terms of cutting. But nice. So figured I'd show that one off. Kydex sheath as well with an ulti-clip. I brought this into the ocean because titanium does not rust. But guess what? My clip rusted. So that's on me. Pretty neat. I'll set this one to the side. And then this is the last one until I get into this box here. But this is by Tops. I don't own any Essies, but I have one Tops knife. And this was $90 at Blade Show. So I remember this one. This was, well, obviously I'd hope I'd remember this, because otherwise it'd be a very interesting surprise. So anyways, this is my Tops. What is this? Tops Hoffman Harpoon. Very cool name. 550 cord. and the blade on that is extremely small. It's a very, like, most of the knife is handle. This entire thing is handle. But this little portion right here, that is all blade. Very sharp blade. Very, very sharp blade. If I had a piece of paper to use, I would definitely show you. But they all have important information on them, so I can't just go stabbing my paper. But anyways, pretty cool. This one was at the first Blade Show where I met Craig and Leo of Tops Knives and the rest of the Tops Knives team, and had a very nice conversation, very nice group of people, and makes pretty neat knives. So this is one of the knives I picked up from them, and so far the only knife I've picked up from them. They just have so many models, and I know EJ Snyder does some stuff with Tops. He's done at least one collaboration with them. It's pretty neat. And very interesting sheath as well. I wonder who does their sheaths, if they sew them in-house. But, yeah, pretty cool. So I'll set this to the side. Now let's get into the black box right here in my toolbox. This, you'll notice they all do not have clips. That is because I need to bring these back to the shop so I can put my clips on them. In the meantime, I can show off some knives. So I have right here the 2023, I just gotta wipe the Kydex off, 2023 Shedknives Resilience in Skewer Orange G10. This knife, why I pull this one out specifically in the Skewer Orange, is because so many people have picked this knife up. I have to give credit to Travis at the Prepared Homestead for how many people have picked up this knife. It is insane. I sent him this exact knife, well, not the exact knife, but the 2023 Resilience in Skewer Orange G10. I sent him this knife. He has such a loyal and supportive customer base that he was able to bring a ton of people over to Shed Knives, and I know some of you watching right now, and who've been watching for quite a while now, came over from Travis, and I really, really appreciate both you and Travis and what he's doing over there. So if you have not checked him out, definitely check him out. So this one, oh my goodness, crazy, crazy, crazy. So I appreciate you guys, just everyone who's had something to do with this knife, because this has been quite the journey. And I have to talk about the Resilience for a second. I wanted a knife for 2021, coming out of COVID, or at least I thought coming out of COVID, that replicated Resilience. And I thought the Resilience was a good name, and I also thought the style of it, because all you have to do, here's your hand, here's the knife, and you just grab it. But you don't grab it like any other knife. Like this, you can grab it, but it's a different feel. This fits the hand. It's perfect. It is literally perfect. I could not come up with a better knife handle for your hand other than this, for this size blade, for this shaped blade. And if you want to cape, they call it caping, where you're skinning an animal, like you're pulling the hide off of an animal. You have this part right up here. You put your pointer finger, and then boom, there you go. This knife was literally designed off of the thought of holding an imaginary knife. Meaning you should not be able to know your knife is there. It feels that good in the hand. So I just thought, okay, what does my hand look like when I hold an imaginary knife? Well, for me, my thumb generally sticks out, like I'm giving someone a thumbs up. So then I kind of push it down. So that's what we have here. Kind of push it down. And then also your hand has different curves in it, different geometry. So I mimicked that and mirrored it right here, allowing you to have a secure grip. Now, this knife is sold out for 2023, and I'm very appreciative of that, because a lot of people love, love, love this knife. I wish I could keep it going, but I had to stop this at some point. So I did stop it, but don't worry, this knife will be back in 2024. So I've got one of those, and you guys love this knife so much that I had to bring two of them. So here's another 2023 Shed Knives Resilience in Skewer Orange G10. Let's talk about this Kydex sheath. Kydex sheath on this one is very interesting, because you don't just put the knife in like that. You have to put the knife in, watch how I'm doing this, at an angle. The blade, it goes in like this. It's like you're, hello, help, help. That's really what you're doing with this one. You're like, I could do this all day. So if you try and pull this out, like, it's going to take some force. There we go. I pulled it out straight, like that. But you got to use some force for that one. Now, I designed that so you can hang your knife from your belt like this without it falling out. All my knives are designed to do that. I just have different ways of doing it. And for the resilience, you have to pull your knife out like that. So pretty cool. Here's a second resilience. And I'm telling you, this knife is loved so much. I literally had to bring out a third one because this is insane. The resilience is insane. Now let's talk about the name for a second. By the way, this is all on purpose. So this Midnight Black 2023 shedknives resilience. Let's talk about the name. I come up with some very interesting names. Let's list them out. Resilience, Momentum, Dauntless, U.S. Tonto, Conquest, Sheep's Foot, Tuatara, Atlas. These are all some Estella. These are all very, very, very unique names. Why do I choose them? Well, because numbers and letters do not make sense. To me, at least. They do not make sense. I've listed a few brands here. Like, for example, I use CRKT, which I love so dearly. M40-15. That is a barcode. Let's find another one. ZT. Let's use ZT. 0562CF. That's a barcode. Last time I checked, I sell knives, not barcodes. Yes, I have barcodes on my knives, but I want people to know they're buying a knife, not a barcode or a credit card. So I put actual names to my knives, so that way you can relate to them a little bit better. Like the resilience. We all need resilience. We all need momentum. We all need conquest, especially you young men in the world today, including me. We all need conquest. So that's why I have 3 of these, because these are very significant for people. You can check these out on shedknives.com, by the way. By the way, you can check all these knives out, at least the shedknives ones, on shedknives.com if you like them. And there's been quite a few of you buying these knives from YouTube, so if you're watching and you've picked a knife up from my videos, hey, thank you very much. Really appreciate that, and I look forward to getting your knives out as soon as possible if you haven't already received them. So last, I want to finish with this one. This is the 2023 shedknives Sheep's Foot. This blade I have a very interesting, I guess you could say, few stories about, but I'll try and keep it fairly brief. So just see how long the rest of this video is, and that'll tell you how brief it is. But anyways, the Sheep's Foot, this exact one, I actually have a scar on my leg from the Sheep's Foot in Tiffany Blue G10. Why that is, I was taking photos of this knife. Well, not the exact one, but you get the point. I was taking photos of this knife, and I was trying to load them online, and I was moving so fast. I move at warp speed. When I pulled my knife out, I somehow cut myself across the leg. Thankfully, I still have the ability to walk. That is always fantastic. But, yeah, so very, very, very sharp. So if you want a sharp knife for other things like hunting, camping, outdoors things, that would be the knife for you, the Sheep's Foot. And the Tiffany Blue G10, I like this because it stands out. You don't see a lot of knives in this pattern, and or at least this color. Really like it. Also the texture. So many people talk about the texture, but no one knows how to describe it. And I'm with you on that one. The texture is immaculate. It is just like, it's like this. It's like you have perfect architecture with a very, very, very fine sandpaper coated over it. That's what this feels like. It's like just perfect. It's nice. I love it. A lot of you love it. A lot of people love it. And that is awesome. What specs do we have? We have jimping, sharpening choil, 154 cm, 100% USA made steel. 100% USA made production, by the way. How did I forget that? All these shed knives are 100% USA made. Hollow grind. And let's talk about the sheep's foot name for a second. That's an important one. It's kind of why I brought this one out today, because this is not a sheep's foot, like a textbook definition sheep's foot. This is kind of like a Warncliffe-ish. It's like a Warncliffe that wanted to like curve. I don't know. No one can figure out what to name it, so I said, okay, great, let's call it a sheep's foot. And also, where did this name come from? Well, the name came from the sheep's foot. I just did not like how the sheep's foot looked, so I thought I'm just going to change the name. Because why give it a new name when you can just change the existing one? So, that's what I did with this one. Lanyard hole, half-inch lanyard hole in the back, and it is thick. I always forget to show that off. This is thick. I'm going to compare this to my cold steel. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Very serious difference. Trying to find what's the thickest knife I have. Is it the Tops knife? The Tops. See, thicker than the Tops blade. Where's my mission knives? Thicker than the titanium knife. See, it's just thick. It's heavy. It's got a lot of weight. So if you're looking for a lightweight knife, this is not the one for you. Just gotta say it how it is. So, anyways, this one, I still have a few available. So if you want to go check this out, again, shedknives.com. See the opening on this Kydex sheath. This is for a very specific reason. It's so you can do that when you're trying to get your knife in your sheath. If you miss, well, you still have some extra opening there. Because I noticed so many companies, and I hate to say this, but White River, their Kydex sheaths are so slim, it's kind of hard to get your knives back in. Now, I can understand it looks better, but from a user standpoint, you gotta have that extra space. And even on the resilience, yes, it stops pretty much at this base, but you still have a little bit of extra room to help guide your blade in. And that's what you need sometimes. So anyways, this is the 2023 sheep's foot. Very nice. I love this. It's got great weight. So that sums up today's video. I plan to be back into the shop later this week so I can get all of these awesome knives done and out to you guys, because that's what matters. So my name is Jack. If you like knives, definitely hit the subscribe button if you have not already, because I post daily shed knives, knife videos, knife photos, all things knife and outdoors related. So very awesome. Thank you all for your support. I'm going to be doing a Q&A here in the next few days. So let me know what questions you have for the Q&A as well, and we'll go from there. So again, my name is Jack. I make knives, and I will see you in the next one.